Eric, let's talk about your quarterback play and some of the defense. I'd also like to speak maybe about some things that we didn't do last year, like turnovers. This year you haven't turned the ball over hardly any at all, and you're getting turnovers. You're creating.
Yeah. We'll start off with the quarterback play, and Zay Dietz, for a young kid, has absolutely done a wonderful job of showing leadership and showing that he belongs in that position. I was very proud of the way he's handled himself. A couple weeks ago against Claymont, he really struggled, and we were hard on him. I thought the last week and this week in practice, you start to see that he took that very personal, that he didn't perform the best that he thought he could at the Claymont game. And last week he showed something special. He made some plays by maneuvering around the pocket and keeping plays alive. He threw a touchdown pass while under pressure. He stepped up and took a couple of hits as he threw the ball, and then he was able to run something. I think he had 136 yards rushing, and he accumulated 6 touchdowns for us. Through the air or on the ground, and because of that, we nominated him as player of the week. And what's cool is to see it for a young kid, to see our team looks at him as a leader, and I'm excited about this young man. I'm excited about his future and what he brings to the table. As far as us not turning the ball over, I'm going to go back to coaching. I start there first. I think our coaches do a great job with our young men and teaching fundamentals and basics and really drilling those things into our kids. And sometimes at the high school level, I think those are things that are overlooked. And you just assume kids know it, but that you can't ever stop overlooking fundamentals. And our coaches drill that daily with our kids and our running backs and how they handle the ball, and quarterbacks making intelligent decisions. There was a time last week where Zaid, for a young kid, could have forced it, and a lot of young quarterbacks do, and he made the right decision and threw it out of bounds. And that shows maturity to me. He didn't try to create a play. He threw it away and gave us another down. And those are things that matter to a program, and that's what leads to success. And I truly believe that if you put ourselves in good positions, and sometimes, when we've talked to our kids, sometimes the best play in football is a punt. You don't force anything. You be intelligent. You play the field position game, and then you go out and we have a good defense, and we go out and play defense. So hopefully we can keep that going and keep making intelligent decisions and taking care of the football. Obviously, we know that the game of football, there's sometimes the ball bounces in different directions, and turnovers are a thing that can occur. What I've been proud of is all year long, we've talked about our defense and how tenacious they've been, and getting pressure on the quarterback and making big plays when they have to, and especially when there has been things that have gone the wrong way. We have turned the ball over. They've had a big run or a big play, and they've gotten down close to the goal line. Our kids understand that sense of urgency, and their play has just been awesome to watch. And I can't tell you how proud I am of the group of young men that are out there, and the effort that they show every single week, and our stats show for it. I mean, they really do. I think we've allowed, as a starting defense, I know Salem scored a touchdown, but they didn't score it on our starting defense, and that wasn't until late in the fourth quarter. Our starting defense hasn't allowed a touchdown, I think, in 12 quarters. And once again, knock on whatever, I hope we can keep that going. But I think our kids buy into the mindset and they understand it.
Okay, yeah, West Branch coming up this week. I haven't really followed West Branch real closely. I'm probably some of the people who'll be watching this haven't either. What can you tell us about West Branch?
I'll tell you this, first of all, and I mean this to the core of my being. They are the best 1-3 team in the state of Ohio. I believe that with all my heart. They are unbelievable. They are very, very good. Their first 3 games they played Kirkland, who was Division V state champions last year, and they played them. They played New Philly, and with 2 minutes left to go in the game, they were winning 45-42. And at one point in time, they were down 28-3 in that game, and they came all the way back to lead New Philly 45-42, and then Philly scored with a little bit of time left. They played Streetsboro, I believe is going to be another playoff team, and they lost a close one there. And then they go into Alliance, which NBC play and Alliance is just filled with talent, and they scored 50 points on Alliance and won the game. And they returned 3 kickoffs. They're very explosive. They're very powerful. They have a huge offensive line, even bigger than ours. They're a good football team. They've got the Wells kid back who didn't play in the first 3 games due to the fact that he had a broken hand or broken arm, and he's back. And he is probably, other than DeMonte Thomas, probably the fastest kid in our league. They're scary.
One thing you don't see, I read the stats from last week about the 3 kickoff returns. You don't see that in high school football very often.
Yeah,
3 of them in one game.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern, and those are the things that goes back to fundamentals. It goes back to discipline, and not to undercut Alliance, but there were some things they didn't do discipline-wise that allowed them to have some big plays. The reality is, like we've told our kids, if Alliance does the right things, the turnout's different. I mean, they scored 21 points off kickoff returns. If they don't get those points, they don't win that game. So there's definitely some things. I mean, we preach to our kids over and over. The game is not offense and defense; it's offense, defense, and special teams. And we got to win 2 out of the 3, if not all 3, in order to win this game. And our kids understand it; they know it. I'll say this too: our seniors are very committed. They have not beaten this West Branch team in their career. And they've had some close ones. They let one get away last year where they were in a very close game and probably should have won it against West Branch, and some bad things happened and they ended up losing it. Their mindset, they are very committed. Our practice yesterday was probably the best practice we've had all year. Our team's mindset is we really want this game, and I think our play is going to show that. And we keep preaching to our kids. Sometimes winning and losing is not always about a scoreboard. It's the way you play. It's the way you do those things. And so far, I've been very proud, and the scoreboards come out in our favor. But my thing is I want to show, no matter what the outcome is, I want us to be able to look back and say that we gave this everything I've got, and hopefully the scoreboard is in our favor at the end. And that's what matters most to me as a coach, and for these young men to be able to go out there and say we left nothing else out there. If we do that, no matter what the outcome is, I'll be very proud.
Okay, Eric. Well, I thank you for your time, and good luck Friday night.